Hello, welcome back to Booking Through Life. I'm Mary, and oh my goodness, my December has been very hectic, very different, not exactly how I expected it to go. And consequently, I didn't get much recorded or edited. And so here I am, and I am going to squeeze in a little bit of Christmas content. And so hopefully I'll have this videotaped. Let me adjust this a little bit. And edited. Hopefully my words and my mouth will match up. That was my problem earlier. And yeah, so let's just plunge ahead and we'll see what happens. So today I'm going to do the 12 Days of Christmas tag. I originally watched Miriam of Miriam Elizabeth Reed's. I believe she did the tag, and then Janelle at Too Fond of Books did the tag, and I wanted to do the tag too. So here it is. Here we go. And we're in like, as I'm filming this, I think it's the 4th day of Christmas. So we still have many days left of Christmas, so I can get some Christmas content in. Anyway, so the first question on this tag was, what is your favorite standalone novel? Well, I am determined not to make all of my answers Jane Austen or Pride and Prejudice, but in all honesty, I have to say that Pride and Prejudice is my favorite standalone novel. And yeah, that just can't change. I could pick something else, but in all honesty, this is the novel that I love the most in life. So there we go. Then the next question, which would be Two Turtle Doves, is what fictional OTP, I think that's all something time pairing, or favorite ship, meaning relationship. And so, of course, if Pride and Prejudice is your favorite novel, then of course your favorite relationship is going to be Elizabeth and Darcy. But I thought, let's branch off. So not going too far, I went to Anne and Wentworth in Persuasion as my next favorite relationship. You just could not stop them from their true love from happening. But if I had to pick a relationship that wasn't a romantic one, I would pick the father and daughter in The Warden by Anthony Trollope. I loved this book, and I loved the relationship between him and his younger daughter. So it was Mr. Harding and Eleanor. So yeah, that's a good one. And then the next one is your favorite trilogy. Lord of the Rings would be an obvious choice, but I wanted to go on a different option. So these are actually, oh no, I'm going to go with this one. This is actually a quartet, and that's The Giver. There's The Giver, there's Gathering Blue, Messenger, and Sun. And I loved this whole series. The Giver and Sun, which was the last one, were my favorites out of the quartet. And then the next book I'm going to talk about is another quartet, but I'm going to use it for Calling Birds, or what is your favorite fictional beast or creature. And so I chose Andrew Peterson's The Wingfeather Saga, and this is the first one in the series On the Edge of the Dark Sea of Darkness. And there are a lot of fictional beasts in here. So two of my favorite would be Nugget, the dog, and then Pete, the sock man, is sort of he's sort of a beast, sort of a human. And then those are good beasts. And then some not so good beasts are the toothy cow, and you don't want to run into a toothy cow. And then there's also, I think these are screes. I can't remember, but here's some other beasts that you'll find in this story. Oh, and then here's Pete the Sock Man again. And so this is a fantasy series, middle grade, excellent, excellent series. Highly recommend it. Check it out if you haven't. Oh, and a good place to buy their books. I mean, you can get them. I've seen them at Barnes and Noble. You can certainly buy them on Amazon, but you can kind of buy them straight from the source, and that's from therabbitroom.com, and they will send them the books to you, and you will receive text messages that are just so much fun, telling you like how their minions have shipped your package and when the minions are going to be delivering your package, and it's quite fun. Highly recommend it. Okay, then we have 5 gold rings. So that's 5 books with gold on the cover. So let's see. Oh, I just have 4 here. I'm missing my 5th one. Well, I have one that has gold on it, so I'll just take that one. So whether I chose this little small Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, and it's a Barnes and Noble. I don't have the dust jacket, but it does have the gold. I love these little. It has gold on the painted on the edges, so I love that. Alan Bennett, The Uncommon Reader. This is a little story. I've talked about it before, about Queen Elizabeth and how she becomes an avid reader, and it has a really cute ending. So I could have used this one for the last prompt too. In fact, that's what I had it as. This is the last prompt, but somehow I had a 5th book and I don't know where it went. But anyway, good book. And then I've got a nonfiction, Knowing God by J.I. Packer. This, I've had this book forever. This is just a really good book on the attributes of God, knowing the difference between knowing and being known, people who know their God. Anyway, really good book. Highly recommend it. And then, I'm sorry, I still have a lot of Jane Austen. I love this. This is Juniper Books, and it's Mansfield Park by Jane Austen. I actually like the quietness of Mansfield Park. I know people either love it or hate it, but I liked even the characters you don't really like. I kind of liked liking them, like not liking them. Anyway, beautiful cover, feels nice and creamy. Ooh, I love this one. And then another copy that I really, really love and is incredibly beautiful, and that's Pride and Prejudice, illustrated by Marjolaine Baston. And this is just absolutely gorgeous. It's got gorgeous, I think this is watercolor, maybe not, little paintings inside of it. It's got cute little inserts. It's absolutely fabulous. Here's a map of London. It's got an invitation to the Netherfield Ball. And yeah, and I actually, during Jane Austen July, I read this copy of it. And some people were scandalized by it and thought, no, I'll never read this copy. It's too beautiful. But it just felt so good. And it just made my reading experience that more beautiful and magical. I love that. Sorry, I dropped my papers. So that was 5. And then 6, Gisa Laying, is the rotten egg category, and that's your least favorite book. And so I just went with my least favorite this year, and I think it would have to be Alice Hoffman's Practical Magic. A big 2 thumbs down. I can't wait until this book is no longer in my house. I'm throwing it over there. Anyway, the next one is Seven Swans of Swimming. Oh, a book with water on the cover. I forgot. I guess I sank on this one. I didn't pick one out for water on the cover. And I can't think of one off the top of my head. I'm looking around. So, oh well. Like I said, I sank on that one. So next one is eight lords. No, I don't know now. Eight something. So fictional food. Eight. I didn't put that together. Fictional food that I would want to taste. Well, I have read the most of the Jan Karen series on Mitford, and she does have the orange marmalade cake that is in the story and is something that everybody covets and wants to have. And this little booklet has, I didn't read this yet, but it has the recipe in it and has some cute little illustrations. And there she is, and she's got the cake. And so I was going to make this cake, but I've had a crazy Christmas, and so that didn't work. I haven't made that yet. Maybe I'll get to it. And then, okay, so then the other thing for this one I thought of Louise Penny's Still Life. In the town of Three Pines. Oh, how did I forget that? I just read this. There's a bistro, and I don't know that there is any one particular sandwich or item that they talked about that I'd want to eat, but I'd like to go and sit down there and have something at that bistro. Wouldn't that be fun? All right, so that's my answer. I'm giving like 2 or 3 answers to each of these. I'm not good with favorites, in case you didn't guess. So number 9 is favorite dance between 2 characters. Well, I'm going back to Pride and Prejudice. I mean, you gotta love that the dance between Elizabeth and Darcy, where she's just kind of putting him in his place. That's a good one. It's also my favorite dance on film, which the next 10 Lords Leaping, I think, is favorite. No, that must have been dancing. 10 Maids of Milking, favorite movie to film adaptation. So, okay. Mine is this one. I know we all have there's a big debate on which is the better Pride and Prejudice. And I know all of the reasons why we don't like this one. They would never almost kiss. They were in their like underclothing, blah, 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 blah. Sorry, you're entitled to your opinions. I respect that. I'm just saying a lot more was being said about the movie. But I think this is a near perfect movie. It's absolutely gorgeously filmed. That scene between Darcy and Elizabeth where they almost kiss, that gets me all of the time. I watch this movie whenever my husband is out of town, which he isn't very often, but sometimes, I watch this. I have my date night with Mr. Darcy. And anyway, I just love this movie. It's just gorgeous. And the soundtrack is fabulous. I mean, there's a couple of things I would change, like the end where she says, "Your hands are cold." Like, what? But my husband and I have fun making fun of that part. But this is swoon worthy, and it's the just the way they portrayed the family, and they mixed up some of the dialogue. If you look, like, oh well, in the book Elizabeth says this, and her father, Mr. Bennet, says it in the movie. They kind of switch some things around, but it's done so well. And their family atmosphere, even though they're dysfunctional, it just has this, I don't know, it just gives you it just seems real. I guess maybe that's it. Anyway, I love this version. And I just have to say too, we might say, this is my opinion, we might think that Darcy and Elizabeth never would have almost kissed, but we do know that people had babies out of wedlock in that time frame and had affairs and whatnot. So maybe it could have happened. Anyway, just saying, love this film, love this version. I love the other one too, but that one has top billing in my life. And then another one is especially North and South. Love this North and South. Love the cast. Love the movie. Just very excellently done. My cat wants to go out. But I also love Wives and Daughters and Cranford as well. They're all really, really well done. Okay, moving on, getting off my Pride and Prejudice soapbox. So 11 Pipers Piping. That is book to movie soundtrack. Makes sense. So, again, the Near Perfect movie has a near perfect soundtrack. Love this soundtrack. Memoirs of a Geisha. You can't go wrong with the John Williams soundtrack, but this one is really good. I also like the soundtrack to Julie and Julia, and I think that was a book first. I'm not 100% sure, but that's a very excellent soundtrack. I just love the French feel to that soundtrack. And then the very last one is favorite book ending. Well, I did have my Uncommon Reader. Jinx is going to come up here and help us. His favorite ending too was the Uncommon Reader, even though it had dogs in the story. It just kind of had a little surprise, delightful ending. But then another ending that I really liked, and it was also Queen Elizabeth, fictionalized Queen Elizabeth, and it was The Windsor Knot. And if I remember correctly, I kind of teared up at the end, not because it's a sad ending, but because it just was so endearing. And I really loved this book. So that's it. That's my 12 Days of Christmas tag. It's probably might be too late or getting on the edge of too late, but if better late than never. If you want to do this tag, please feel free to do it. I'd love for you, if you haven't already subscribed or liked, please subscribe to my channel and like this if you liked it. And also comment below. I'd love to know if you read anything that I have read, if you liked anything, didn't like. What do you think about the Pride and Prejudice with Keira Knightley or with Colin Firth? Anyway, I hope that doesn't ruin our friendship. And yeah, I hope to see you again soon with another video. And yeah, hopefully I'll get caught up on life. And until then, I hope all your books are good books, and I'll see you again soon.